Pixels is directed by Chris Columbus and stars Adam Sandler, Kevin James, Michelle Monaghan, Peter Dinklage, and Josh Gad. So after a video stream of old arcade games gets misinterpreted, an alien race sends down real-life video games to destroy the Earth. Now, just by that description, this movie sounds really good. I mean, that's something that I would be into. This movie sucks. There really isn't anything about this movie that I liked. I mean, the premise alone, it sounds awesome. This movie had such wasted potential. I think it was Christian Harloff of Schmoes Knows that said it. And it would have been a really great, like, Ghostbusters type movie. And like, cause you listen to the synopsis of Ghostbusters, it's a ragtag bunch of scientists that goes around hunting ghosts. Ghostbusters just became this classic movie that I really love and a whole bunch of other movie fans love as well. This movie had that potential. It failed. I mean, it's just a typical Adam Sandler movie, and he spews out crap. I mean, this movie is just so typical of Adam Sandler nowadays. This movie had a built-in audience. If you're a moviegoer like me in his late 20s, early 30s, you grew up playing games like this either at home with your buddies or going out to an arcade, and you remember all these classic arcade games. I enjoy video games. I'm not particularly good at them, and it should have catered to that audience, but it just didn't. The movie was just not interesting. I mean, Kevin James as the president. I didn't buy Kevin James as the president in this for a second, any more than I believed Adam Sandler getting a chick as hot as Michelle Monaghan. And aside from the entire plot being not interesting, I did not like the structure and the pacing on this film. It didn't work for me. And not only that, everything from the plot and the dialogue and the actors' performances were just so on the nose, and I just didn't like how obvious everything was and how predictable a lot of this stuff was going to be. And the biggest thing that failed for me in this movie was, this is a comedy and it just wasn't funny. There was just one joke in this movie that I found funny. It was this stupid thing with Peter Dinklage, and it was at the end of the movie, and just a little too late for that. I mean, all the jokes just fell flat and it was just not funny at all. And a lot of it had to do with the actor's performance in this. Adam Sandler just seemed to be phoning it in. He was very bland and very boring. And then you have Peter Dinklage. He's probably the most talented person in this movie, and he was just wasted. And when you have a talent like Peter Dinklage and you waste it like that, like, why the hell was he in this movie to begin with? You didn't need Peter Dinklage for this role. You could have hired Joe Schmo off the street. It would have been just as fine. And now we come to the person that I like the least in this movie, with Josh Gad. For some stupid fucking reason, he just needed to yell all his jokes in this movie, which again, were not funny to begin with. And his character, I hated his character. His character is supposed to be, that awkward gamer who believes in all these conspiracy theories. I did not like his character at all, and this is the first thing I've ever seen him in. And with, the story being uninteresting, the dialogue and everything being on the nose, and the jokes just not being funny, to me, that's not the worst part about this movie. The worst part about it, and who I think should be the maddest about this movie, is Sony. Let's go ahead and look at the budget that this film got. This movie took $110 million to make. Now, I know that's not a lot of money when it comes to big budget filming, but that's a shit ton of money. And for them to take that much money and spew out this piece of garbage, if I were the head of Sony, I would be extremely pissed that I spent that much money on this movie. And if you like this movie, good for you. I mean, something that you will like isn't necessarily something that I will like, and vice versa. I really didn't like anything about this film. Really, the only thing that I enjoyed in this movie was the visual effects. The whole 3D pixelated thing, it was pretty cool, and seeing Pac-Man and all these old school video games rampage across New York, that was enjoyable. But take the visual effects and be backed up by a horrible storytelling and unfunny jokes, it was just a huge disappointment. This movie had so much potential going for it with its concept. This concept was so made for people like me in my age demographic and the type of movies that I like. So overall thoughts, this movie was absolutely terrible. Bad jokes, bad plot, and just an overall disappointment for a concept that I thought would have been really good. This is the first movie on my channel that I'm giving this rating, so that has to say a lot about this movie, because I'm giving Pixels a hell no.
Nope.
So, Pixels, I'm not going to ask the usual question I do, because I don't think you should go see this movie. So instead, tell me what your favorite old school game is. If you say Halo, I'm going to shoot you in the face. Just kidding, I'm not going to. Is it Mario, Frogger, Pac-Man, Asteroid? There's a whole list of video games that you can list. Leave a comment below, tell me what it is. Don't forget to hit that like button below, help me out please. And as always, thank you so much for watching. If you like this, you can click right here and see more videos. Bye, Andrew.